Hey guys, I am back today to show you a Flying Lotus style beat. Definitely if you listen to this, it's heavily influenced by Flying Lotus and the whole LA beat scene. People like Nosaj, TokiMonsta, and Flying Lotus. So here's the clip. Okay, so that is the clip, and what I'm going to do first is focus on my kick and my clap and show you what sort of rhythm I got into. So this is my main, I'll solo these out. Let me zoom in here. I'll solo these out. This is my main kick up here, and then my clap. And this beat was, for me, just I put together the tutorial to show you. It's really influenced by Flying Lotus in his song So you can look that up and sort of see where my influence was on this. So this is my main kick. The kick is a very simple beat. It's and then the clap just so you know, you can sort of bounce to that. It's always good to sort of move and bounce to your music. So this is probably going to be a two-part tutorial, just to let you know. It's probably going to take a minute to break it down. So if we take a look at our kick EQ, and I'll play it dry. So this is what it sounds like. Oops, let me just do the kick. You can see now if we listen to it on. So I mean, what I did was I first boosted it a little bit, right around 50, 60, to give it a little more thud in the low end, and then I dropped a big chunk right in the mids, because I wanted it to be more of a thud rather than a punch. So I definitely wanted more thud than punch. So if you listen to that, and the sample I chose sort of has this gritty trail at the end, you can hear it. So that's that, and then my main clap here. My main clap, if you want to hear this one dry, it sounded like this, which it didn't have enough sparkle in the high end, so obviously I dropped the low end, and then I pushed it up in the high end here. So there's that, and then, so I mean, it just sparkled it up. I really wanted to get all the nice clicks in there, and then so you know what that sounds like together. And then I threw in this little guy, which if you take the EQ off, it was just like a little clicky sort of, almost sounds like a rim. It's from an acoustic snare set. And just so you know, most of my samples are for this beat, they're from a hip-hop sample pack, just random packs that I've collected over the years. So now I play this, and all I did was EQ this, and I just took out the low end. I always am going to be dropping the low end. I boosted a little bit around 1K to add to the click, and then the really high ends I took out. So it sounds like, and when you hear these together, it's got a nice little rhythm to it. And then if you listen to the song by Flying Lotus and you hear all the sounds, you'll notice there's these crashes and these sort of white noisy sounds on the kicks, which I was trying to emulate here. So I threw in this sound with that. And this is just a regular crash, but I processed it a little. I'll show you what I did to it. So let me take it back to how it was. And okay, so this is the sample without any processing. It was just a plain all it is it's just a long symbol. So for you Logic users, all you do is click down here when this little symbol comes up, and you can just shorten this, shorten it up like that. And then if you hit escape and it brings up your tool list, you can either scroll down and click your crossfade tool, or you can just hit 0. And then I added a big crossfade, so it would make it a little longer. So it'd be a quick, you get that splash, and then it would fade out quickly. And then all I did was EQ. I took off the extreme high ends up here, and then obviously drop the lows. I always drop lows, so it sounds like that. And then what I did was I got my bit crusher here, and you can see the settings, and when you listen to it now, it just gives it this like synthesized noise sound, which is what I wanted. So that all together sounds pretty good. I should probably put this one back. So that's that, and then I added this little guy, which is just a reversed hat. And I show you guys, anytime you want to reverse a sound, any sound, you just double click. It'll bring up your sample editor, and you just go to functions, and then you hit reverse, and it'll reverse the sample that you're using. So I believe that's what I did with this one. So we listen to it without anything on it. All I did was I did a bit crusher with the same settings, and then I did an EQ just dropping the low end. So and let me go over these two. So if you look down here, I panned this one a little bit to the left, and then the previous sample, the crash that I just showed you, I panned a little bit to the right. So just to add some interest in the stereo field. So now we've got all of these playing together. And then I threw in a little shaker on the offbeat here, so that's what this sounds like. And as you can see, there's no processing on this, just straight shaker, recorded live, and it just adds a little something to the offbeat here. So if we listen to that. And then next up, I used a synthesized hat. It was from a sample pack that had synthesized percussion, and all I did was do a little fade in right in the beginning of the sample, just to get rid of the initial attack. I didn't really want it to ting as loud as it was tinging. So if we listen to this, if I take this off, and we hear this really quickly, it just, I didn't want as much attack that was on there. So I mean, the difference is it's very subtle, it's almost unnoticeable, but I noticed. So, and that sits on top of our clap here. So if I play this again, and if you notice in the beat here, I have my main clap only hits every other, and then this white noisy sound hits on every. So if you listen to it, just sort of plays into the beat. And then I added these. This is from like a Middle Eastern sample pack, Sounds of the Middle East. These two, which they're the same sound. I think one is just a lower volume. So the top one is just right here. It's in the middle, as you can see right here. And then if I go to the next one, you can see it's panned a little to the left, and it's a little lower. And the EQ is just the basic EQ. I dropped the low end. So let's hear all of this together, and this is pretty much the main beat. So that's the first part. I'll go over the synths and more of the drums in the second part of this tutorial.